It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month.
It's Pride.
Let's be all proud.
Fucking good song, that one.
Give me some pride. Pride.
Yeah. Drop the pride.
Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke Blett and my pronouns are she and her.
I'm Maddie Mills. My pronouns are he and him. And before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for me today, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Eora Nation. Let's get into it.
I want to act like a rapper.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Of the Eora Nation.
Eora, the Cooler Nation.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, actually, we'll talk about cool.
Mm.
Cool. It's a cool month this month.
It's the JoJo Siwa month.
Come as a bitch. Oh, God.
It's Pride Month.
It is Pride Month. Are you proud? Are you proud?
I'm proud. And I'm an ally for everyone.
I'm black, I'm loud, and I'm proud.
Yeah, go on. That's your new book coming out next year.
Literally, that's the
black, loud, and
mantra
proud.
of my life. I'm black, I'm proud, I'm proud.
Oh, yeah, you've been proud. No, don't.
Oh, stop. What is Pride Month? Get around it. I'll take what I can get.
I love that. Speaking of Pride Month, when was the last time you've had your face in a vagina?
A katina.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Ooh, very tough. Like, do you want to know the details, or is that like?
Spill the tea, babe. We're here. We're talking about Pride Month.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I mean, was 2022. Yeah.
No way.
No, lie. 2023. Sorry.
So you
year.
haven't
Early last year.
Wow, you haven't flexed your gay muscle in like 6 months?
I know. I reckon I need to do a tongue stretch and I need to do like some finger exercises.
100%, girl. Like,
I love these conversations. Can I just say how fucking funny it is? Like when, I felt so much shame about talking about sex and sexuality, and it's just so fucking funny where we can just like have a laugh and just,
isn't it freeing?
It's so freeing, yeah.
And like,
fuck it, who cares?
It's like being a gay person. I explained this to somebody who was really struggling with their sexuality years ago, about 5-6 years ago, and he was this guy who came from a Muslim family, and he was talking to me about how his family had caught a really awkward situation, but they had caught his laptop was open and it had like gay porn on it, and that's how they sort of uncovered his sexuality.
Okay.
And he was like beaten by his family.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, by his brothers, and basically kicked out and exiled from the family because he was gay, and they were a very strict Muslim family. And he was hanging around me at the time, and like I was good friends with him, and he was a bit younger than me. And I remember saying to him, I said, you know what's so great about being gay? Think of it as your superpower. Like, we have the ability to be able to be, like, I'm speaking from my point of view, but I feel like as a gay person, there's so many things that the society and the world layer on top of us that make us feel like we don't belong or we're not valued or that we're not great. In my eyes, my gayness is my superpower. I feel like I'm a man with the mind of a woman. And like that to me is like, that's like a double fucking win. And I constantly like remind myself how amazing it is to be gay, and I see it as the cherry on top of my being. And I just remember telling him that I'm like, it's your superpower, man. Like one day you're going to find the love for who you are and your identity, and it's going to feel like it's your power. Like we are special human beings on this planet where we get to experience life in a slightly different way than the norm.
I feel
love that.
the same, but I feel like my ability or like / my superpower was to feel like the love and care for all types of people.
Yeah.
To love people, through the shit or through. Yeah, I just feel like, writing my book, Big Love, I feel like that for me was just telling people, like, I don't give a fuck who you are, what you are, how you do it. As long as, you are a genuine person and you live, even people who do are sort of harmful. I still live and forgive them. I love my mum. She was, at times quite abusive, but I still love her through that.
Yeah.
And I think that, that for me kind of encompasses what the queer community is like. We hold a lot of pride, but we also carry a lot of love and care and consideration and compassion. And I think that's the thing I love about being queer. And, sexuality is such a spectrum of where you're at. Like, I think that's also the thing that I'm most proud of about being Black and being queer as well, is that I get to sort of experience that range of on the spectrum, and there's an acceptance of wherever you are sitting. There's no really care in that. It's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. Like, that's what you are. Great.
Yeah. I think, like, when it comes to the intersection, I always say, like, and I've said this numerous times on the podcast, it's like the thing that I love most about being alive and being who I am is being an Aboriginal person.
Yeah.
Because that feeling, there's just this deep sense of self and identity and belonging that is just, if you could bottle it and sell it, it would be, fucking millions and millions of dollars. Like that feeling,
priceless, to be fair.
So that feeling is what I see as pride as well. It's like there's this strength and this spirit that is just your fuel. And being able to be Aboriginal and then also be gay on top of it, it's like I've been given like an extra sprinkle of something, and like
Kate, you got layers.
Yeah, I got layers. I'm like a 30-layered cake.
You are, but a fucking delicious one, if that.
Look at me putting my feet up. I literally just went to put my feet up like this, like, yeah.
Yeah, relax.
I just find that being, gay and Aboriginal, yes, it comes with, the territory of racism and discrimination and homophobia, but the feeling that I get, I would never trade that in for anything. So, Pride Month is here. I'm super keen to, the thing is, Pride Month here feels like it comes a little bit late because we celebrate Mardi Gras in March.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like a delay in some sense, yeah.
So as much as it's Pride Month, it's June, it's Pride Month, we're sort of ahead of the ball when it comes to celebrating the community, because we do it in March. But the International Pride Month, so it obviously is around the globe, commemorates the Stonewall Riots of June 1969.
Yep.
And that was a pivotal moment and movement for the fight for LGBT, QIA plus rights.
Yep.
Every time I hear about the Stonewall Riots, I think of the RuPaul's Drag Race
episode.
When
I know what you're talking about, but
Derek Barry, who's the Britney Spears impersonator, was like, yeah, and it's, we're doing this for for Stonewall, people died. And then I don't know who it is, but the drag queen goes, no, they didn't. No one died.
I mean, the thing is also, like, being queer, like, we're a bit dramatic.
Yeah. We
catastrophize things a lot. But I mean, also us as actors.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, we do catastrophize.
Yeah, but look, let's give a bit of context to Stonewall riots. So,
yes, okay.
The riots began in New York City, where police raided the Stonewall Inn. So the Stonewall Inn is similar to the Stonewall Inn here in Oxford Street. It's a iconic gay venue. Yeah. The raid sparked a riot among bar patrons and neighbourhood residents as police roughly hauled employees and patrons out of the bar, leading to 6 days of protests and violent clashes with law enforcement outside the bar.
Yeah.
So, I think that people, forget that when it comes to this this story, that this was a really crucial moment in gay rights, and it was a moment where we started to fight back.
Yeah,
it was the moment where we
exactly.
said we're not going to fucking have this.
Yeah,
and there was a major movement after this where it sort of snowball effect people and encouraged people to stand up for gay rights. So
exactly,
yeah, that's why it's in June Pride.
I mean, if we look at back, I guess, like, historically, Mardi Gras, that started off from a riot as well. So
a protest.
a protest. we had, we spoke to Jarwin black men about police and I guess the complexity of a relationship with the police and community. And I think the queer community have definitely felt that complexity at a whole nother level, especially with police brutality. And, it sucks that, now we can say, oh, Pride Month, let's be proud. Yeah. But that's come from a moment of resistance and not from our own resistance within ourselves as a queer community or queer person, resistance from other people accepting us. And that's really frustrating, I guess, to feel and to live with. And, and I'm so glad and I am proud. I am very proud of how far we have come, but also like how much we still have to go and how much we have to fight the continuous fight and battle to have these rights and to yes, we have Pride Month, but then there's so much complexity and nuance to even those months where, there's pink washing and rainbow washing and all that sort of stuff because organizations jump on and they're like, oh, yeah, we celebrate Pride Month, but like they're contributing so much, like they're causing also so much harm at the same time and they're sort of covered off by this like, oh, no, we've got a queer person that's like, our ambassador. And you're like, the fuck? So there is so much to that. But I do feel very proud. But I also am like, just remember why this month is so important. And I guess also just extend your knowledge of where this has come from on the back of resistance and patriarchal
dominance.
Exactly. And police brutality as well. So, I do feel really proud. But,
Yeah, I feel proud too. I also, understand that like, when it comes to Mardi Gras in the 78ers and and understanding like what the time
OGs.
The OGs. It must feel, remarkable to see the change. There must be a sense of momentum and moving forward for a little bit of
liberation, hey?
And they must feel much more happy for the younger generation like us who get to be accepted in a world, mostly accepted. Obviously, I believe that no matter how far we push ahead, we have to continue that resistance. We have to continue to be loud and to be proud because I feel like in society, it only takes a small shift to see that, that the minds and hearts of people can, revert back to the old ways. You look across the water in the States and you think like, oh, with the election and Trump, or you think, okay, you think that we're moving forward, but how many people are backing, a man who is just the voice and the face of discrimination,
Yeah,
so
it's just gross.
No matter how forward we think we've pushed as a society, we need to make sure that resistance stays intact because who knows what a change of government does, who knows what, if we're not vigilant with our resistance or with our protest or with our pride, who knows if we can, fall back into the old dark days.
Well, in a matter of time, and this might sound quite morbid and semi-harsh as well, but, we're moving now more into we're millennials, we're moving into our 30s. Like, eventually generations are going to die. Yeah. And there are new ways of thinking, and we have to keep pushing for a more progressive thinking and to keep, preaching acceptance and creativity and love and compassion rather than this, like, this patriarchal mentality. Like, we need to get rid of, I mean, like, we can all sit, hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but like, that takes a lot of...
There's still work to be done.
There's so much work to be done.
I feel like the community and the conversation is changing quite a bit when it comes to like how we represent ourselves, how we identify. Yeah. And, these things like pronouns have come into play.
Good.
And which is a great thing. I saw a video last night on TikTok actually. And there was this newsreader who was introducing a guest and they introduced them by the incorrect pronouns. Yep. And the guest said, I think her name was Martha or something. Hi, Martha, you know my correct pronouns and you've chosen not to use them.
Yes, I've seen this.
You saw that?
Yeah. And she stood up for herself. They stood up for themselves. Sorry.
Yes, they stood up for themselves. Yes, and the newsreader didn't back down. You know, they said, "No, I'm going to use correct grammar." And the guest said, "Well, I find that really disrespectful." You know,
yeah, you're not listening to me.
You're not listening to me. You don't see me, as an equal. You're not valuing what I, who I am, and I thought that was like such a great thing to see last night coming into this conversation.
Especially on media, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, in media. But I wanted to ask you, I know your pronouns, but when you come to the decision of what pronouns you want to be, that you wanted to use, did you have to take some time to really think about that, or was it something that came really naturally?
I have discussed this with my psych because I came pretty quickly to the conclusion. I was like, well, I'm cisgendered. I'm, identify with the genitalia, like what I've been given, through birth. And I don't feel like that I feel any different to, identifying as she, her. And so we discussed that in the early stages of our sessions. And then later on, like I was bringing it up, and I've had, these really complex sort of like nuanced sort of conversations around gender dysphoria, but no, I still feel comfortable about identifying with the pronouns she and her.
Yeah.
But I can imagine, and I do have thoughts around gender in particular, that's specifically, but I don't identify anything as, anything else, but it made me really think about how people, I guess like the spectrum of gender, and that it's not, gender is a construct. Like, I think that's really deep thinking.
No,
I've just had those conversations, but what about you? Like,
look, when I was little, I was bullied for looking like a girl, and if somebody like,
oh my God. So that's where my feelings come from too.
Yeah,
the opposite.
So when I was young, I remember always being called a girl. It was the way that I spoke. It was the way that I acted. It was the fact that my mum let me have long hair. I remember getting on a bus and the bus lady saying, "Oh, get your little girl on." Like there were just so many moments where I felt quite like upset and confused because how people were teasing me isn't how I identified. And even my brothers, when I was going, even, first years of high school, my brothers, to get at me, would say, "You act like a girl. Stop acting like a girl." So as I grew up, I actually had a real issue with how I felt in my own body and who I was. But as I became, more confident in myself, and as those sort of bullying tactics sort of didn't come into my life that much as I got older, and I developed into a young man, and I found my voice, and I felt like I, sort of grew into my masculine energy, I became more comfortable in my skin. And I definitely identify as he, him. I've never had an issue with knowing that myself, but I think that because I can be feminine and I have feminine energy, and when I was younger, I preferred to connect with feminine energy, so hang out with girls, maybe play dolls, instead of being out there playing footy with the boys. So there was a lot of like rediscovering myself as I became older, but I'm really comfortable in my skin as a man. There's, I love being a man. I'm a man who's attracted to men, and I'm really confident in that. So for me, when you're young, doesn't it just like some of the stuff when you're young just really sticks with you though? You know?
I mean, listening to your story, and, if there's anyone who's listening who've also felt those sort of feelings, I can definitely relate to them, because the opposite of that, I was very masculine, and I had to really, maybe only in the last 6 years of being on reality TV have I really come into more of a feminine energy. Previous to reality TV, I was more of a masculine. I generally didn't have comfortable feelings about my body because I had like pec muscles, and I was really muscly, and I played footy, and I preferred being around more like masculine women, and who were lesbian, who were queer, and they accepted me for who I was. So you can imagine those feelings. So I really connect with that story because I feel that on the opposite scale. And then when I was younger too, my mum shaved my head when I was 8 years old because I had nits and school sores.
I was just about to say, did you have nits? Because we had that done too.
Exactly. And that's...
Did she do it in a bath?
No, she would have just, I don't even know, to be fair. I can't
I just
really
remember leaning over the bath and having my mum like, I was like, this is not the life I wanted.
But imagine, a year, I'm 8 years old. I'm still quite developed. And that was quite a traumatic experience because then now I've got a shaved head and now everyone's coming up to my mum being like, oh, what a beautiful little boy. And you're thinking, I'm a girl.
Yeah, I'm a girl. Yeah.
I'm just a little girl. And those feelings, and then so because I did have a shaved hair and sort of, it grew into sort of now then a bob and I remember the feelings of that. I don't have specific memories, but I do have the feeling like I needed to then be masculine like my brothers and play fighting. And I was quite an emotional kid, but I was taught not to cry.
Yeah.
Which now is, affected in, it's affecting me in my adult life because I've bottled some feelings that I didn't know that I felt. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that I have felt that on that level, what you talk about, that the confusion and the frustration and the uncomfortableness about, someone saying that you're something but you don't feel that, but then, everyone else is saying feeling that, it confuses me. And I think I now understand that gender is a spectrum as well in terms of where you would like to lie, whether you want to be a more feminine energy, masculine, you can be in anything. It's so fluid.
For me, when I go home, I was home on the weekend, so I went home and I got to spend some time with family. When I go home, I'm a bit of a chameleon, so whatever environment I walk into, I can sort of adapt, and I think that's just who I am, So going home, I become a little bit more, I would say the word rough. How I speak, how I act.
Isn't that
code switching, but also when you're in different environments, you wear different hats. When I'm home, I'm a little bit more, I would say, a little bit more masculine, and a little bit more, country, a little bit more rough. How I speak, I was saying things.
Dialect
exactly.
Changes,
I took my boyfriend home for the first time to meet my family, and it was so nice. But in the car, he had heard things that I wouldn't normally say in Sydney. So what you mean? What you mean? Normally I say, what do you mean? And little things that just change when you're in different environments.
Yeah.
So
I say nyon. So if I'm saying, never mind, I say, oh, nyon, Bob.
Or I'm like, yeah, come here.
Yeah.
So hearing me, sort of change a little bit when I went home. It's just, the different hats you wear. You get the friend hat and work colleague hat. My boyfriend gets the boyfriend hat. My family get the brother, the son hat, the uncle hat.
It's called modes.
Yeah. And I love being able to come in and out of out of those parts of myself. But when it comes to my masculine and feminine energy, I really love being fluid. I love being, if I'm around a group of women or gay men, I'm super gay. I'm super gay. It sounds like a superhero. I am super gay.
But also your voice and your body tell you as well where you feel safe, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? Yeah.
Totally.
So right now, I'm relaxed. I've been doing this for however long with you and we have a great relationship.
Actually,
I feel
I
safe.
remember when you were really, really relaxed on the Gold Coast when you did a fart.
Oh, shit. Oh, you're going to bring that up again, are we?
Bring that back up now. I've been sending you so much fart content. Anyway, I'm not going down that.
It's fucking funny, But, that's comfortableness, that's safety, that's friendship, that's joy, that's happiness.
Yeah.
That's
Have you ever been, you was talking about being a little bit confused, and this isn't me saying that you are, but a little bit earlier, when you come to how you identify, have you changed how you identify because of the pressures of the world or any sort of outward influence? Because I know you had a hard time going through The Bachelorette because people were like, she's bi, she's pan, she's lesbian, she's gay. So
Oh my God, all the titles, yeah.
Yeah. Has that influenced how you feel? Or have you always been steadfast in how you feel and that's just it?
Yeah. You know what? How I feel is actually it's frustration because I knew that this was always going to be a big deal, right? And I kind of I feel like, and I love Channel 10. I don't have a, negative thing to say about them, but I feel like I kind of got used in a sense where it was like we're used for my sexuality. And that was the frustration part because they knew that I wouldn't do the show unless I, felt like it was going to really represent my attraction and what I was actually looking for in terms of person. And that had a spectrum. And I wanted a spectrum of people. I wanted a range of people because I know who I love, but I also don't care what they are. Yeah. And so, it makes it hard to cast for that if you are like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm looking for because if you just say a man, I'm looking for a man. But if you say I'm looking for whatever, they don't know. So that was a very complex season. Like if you actually unpack it, and if you've got a, critical thinking brain, the pressure that I had on me was intense, like to execute that. And yes, I did it to a standard that was, I guess, organic, natural, authentic to who I am. But at the same time, sexuality is so complex and, well, it doesn't need to be complex, but I was kind of boxed into bisexuality. And if you ask any of my football friends or my girlfriends who are lesbian, gay, queer, bi, pansexual, they'll just say like Brooke was just Brooke and I was just young as well and experiencing like love from different people and no matter who they were, I didn't really give a fuck. I looked at a person for their personality, their values, who they were inside. Didn't give a fuck what they were on the outside. Yep. And this is where I'm feeling the frustration is because that sort of fits the pansexuality, Again, it's boxing yourself. Yep. And I don't be like, hey, I'm Brooke Blurton, I'm pansexual. Yeah. When I introduce myself, I'm like, hi, I'm Brooke Blurton. I'm a proud Noongar Yamaji woman. That is what I am.
Absolutely.
You know what? And I don't have to say cisgender woman. I'm giving you, I'm a woman. Like, I'm telling you. Yep. And I'm saying I'm Noongar because that's my cultural identity and I'm very proud of it. Yeah. And I say proud at the start of that because I want you to know that is how I identify. That is how I introduce myself. Yeah. I don't need to tell you who I'm fucking. Yeah. Yes. Fuck me. No one goes, oh, you know what? I'm fucking a cisgendered male last night and, he's also experiencing his bisexual. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, you know what I mean? And I love Pride Month. Like, yell it out, whatever, do whatever. But I'm just so frustrated with this narrative of like I need to box myself into this bisexuality because also queerness is so different and I think people also assume this is also, I don't know if you've ever felt this, like there is a typical stereotype of what a gay man is like, right? Yeah. Queer
what do people, you mean? Are you talking about me?
Queer people play into that as well. We're fucking bad for it because I'm like, what do you mean? And like, damn it. But that's RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, I love being super gay sometimes.
Love it. Fuck it.
Like I pretend I have a fringe and I do this.
Yes, switch it behind my ears, fake hair. Daniel does the same thing. He's my best friend and I love him for it. It doesn't, and sometimes he can be really masculine. You can be really masculine and I don't give a fuck. But
you talking to me?
For me as a bisexual woman and I guess as a queer woman, I get messages occasionally. It'll just be like, oh, you you're not even gay, oh, when was the last time you dated a girl? Like, oh, you're just dating straight men. Like, what the fuck? Am I just like, who fucking cares? Yeah. Who cares?
Totally.
I think as a bisexual woman.
Says the guy who asked you this 20 minutes ago, when was the last time you had your in a vagina?
My face in a vagina. Like, yeah. Like, but
you're like, fuck off.
I'm like, who cares? No, but you're my friend and I feel comfortable telling you that. And I feel that you're not asking that to seek gossip. You're just like interested. You're actually curious. And I'm like, I love that. Yeah. But yes, I think I actually have this thought occasionally, right? About I'm meant to give off these like real like camp queer vibes, like rainbow everything and like I'm meant to be like dressed like real maths and like, like I think the bisexual woman is not meant to, but stereotypically, I'm using that word, box you into this like real like swag, like fuck yeah, like
flat cap back,
snap, like you know, like snap back, and I'm like, that's not fucking me. I'm really in my feminine energy and I fucking love it because I worked hard to get here from all the shit that I've had to deal with where I've had to be in a masculine energy and like uphold myself to a certain standard. I'm like fucking letting that go. Hello, good. I'm in my feminine. Fuck you.
Love this.
But like, therefore I'm not gay. Therefore I don't fuck girls. Therefore I'm not attracted to girls. I'm still fucking, I can tell you now, I'm still fucking attractive to girls. When I masturbate, I watch lesbian porn. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I don't do that.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't watch straight porn. I'm still obviously very much so attracted to women and that's never going to go away.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So I get frustrated at this like narrative that like I must be a certain way because I am bisexual. I'm like, well, no, like I love kissing girls. I love licking pussy. I also love sucking dick. And I also love like I just don't care. I really don't care.
Oh my God.
Happy Pride Month.
Oh, that is so funny.
Anyways, but yeah, what sexuality do I identify now as? Ocean.
Ocean?
Yeah. I'm like, an ocean. I'm fluid. I'm just wet.
That's nasty, girl.
No, right now the door is closed to a lot of things. But
is it?
Yeah, I'm working on my myself. That sounds so fucking corny, but I hate it and I love it at the same time. But
I love that you are constantly evolving, you know, you're constantly sort of doing the inward work. I think that's really good.
I just want to level up and in order to find love or to feel love, I need to really love myself. And I really did think that I did love myself, but I think I've neglected parts of myself too. And I'm not neglecting my sexuality. I've never I've really, you know, openly celebrated that. And that's obviously why Pride Month reminds me, like, I am really proud to be queer. I fucking love that I accept people for who they are and not what they are. And that will never change about me, and I don't think it will change about you. I think we both celebrate that equally, like with such a intensity.
Yeah. Oh, I had a moment on the weekend where I felt really proud because I took my partner home to my niece and nephew's place.
Yeah.
And they have a gay uncle, me, and a lesbian auntie on their other side.
Deadly.
And so in the house, there was my brother and his fiance.
Yeah.
And then his fiance's Georgie and her sister and her partner were there. And my partner was there. So there was 2 gay couples and, you know, a heterosexual couple and my niece and nephews running around the house like nothing is any different. And then when I dropped Denny off, so the kids are in the back, I dropped Denny off and I gave him a kiss. And he got out of the car and my little nephew goes, "That's disgusting." And I thought that he was talking about us being gay. And you know what the next words that came? "That's disgusting how adults say goodbye to each other." Like I thought that it was going to be like you 2 men, you know, but no, he was saying that, you know, when adults say goodbye to each other, they give each other a kiss, and that's just, you know, disgusting. And that was his reaction, not
he
about us being...
He doesn't like goodbyes.
Yeah, he doesn't like adults kissing, not about us being gay. And I just felt like, wow, like it's so normalized in their world that I love this, and it makes me feel really proud to know that like they're getting, you know, insight into what it's like for a gay couple, and also, you know, they'll grow up without having any questions about, you know, or discrimination towards, you know, gay people because they see it. And
that's love. That's like such love. Yeah,
I know, it was beautiful, and it made me want kids. Going home on the weekend made me want kids bad.
Oh,
and
stop it!
I know, like I seriously feel like as a gay, I'm going to be like a gay dad soon.
Yeah, I can.
Soonish.
I really see that for you.
I feel like in the next 2 years I'm going to have a baby.
Yeah, I
already started following, you know, Scott.
I did say to you, if you want me to have a baby, I can. I will do the practical part of it, but.
But wait, don't you have to have your baby first?
Oh yeah.
Is that?
I'll just have it and give it to you.
As if you would. You'd be keeping that baby. You'd be like, fuck off. You want to take my baby?
No, I would never. I would no. That's surrogacy, but also surrogacy is apparently illegal in Australia.
Well, if we flew to another country, would you give me an egg?
Yeah, I would give you.
Oh my God,
whatever.
That would be amazing. Okay, let's.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's talk about it off air.
Let's do Coopers.
Oh, well, I feel like that's maybe a good place to wrap it up. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, that in itself, right? We're talking about, surrogacy and queer babies and, you being a queer dad. Like, you're just a dad as well, by the way. You don't have to be like, I'm a queer dad, but
totally,
you're a father.
Totally.
Like, you want to be a father, yeah.
I want to be a dad soon. And it's like going home and being with my nieces and nephews just keeps on making me think, okay, I need to start the process. So I actually followed, Scott, Sassy Scott?
Yeah, they just had twins.
So I'm going to start talking to Scott about the process because that looked like they went through a really great process with getting their babies.
Their babies are beautiful as well. Yeah. Well, that's all we have time for today. Ending on a beautiful note there. Thank you so much for listening to First Things First. If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and review. Also, happy Pride Month. And
happy Pride Month. Come as a bitch, you should have known better.
If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a review.
Yeah, leave us a review because we want to know what you want to hear. And if you want us to cover anything, tell us. Reach out to us on our DMs. Brooks is at brook.blurton. Mine is at It's Maddie Mills.
Yes. All right. See you later, guys.
Catch ya.
Bye.